Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you another review, a review for American Horror Story Hotel, Episode 1, Checking In. If you've not seen this episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. If you've noticed, I'm kinda exhausted at this point. I've been reviewing shit all day. I can't help it, man. I've been backed up with so many videos over the course of the last couple of days. It's been hard to really just get out of the zone for a second and just like relax and like fucking get back into it. I don't know, but enough of my personal life thrown aside, let's get into American Horror Story. Now, as you all know, I reviewed Freak Show. It was the gateway drug into me getting into American Horror Story. I didn't watch the prior seasons, like the first one, or Asylum, or Coven, or whatever the hell else that was prior. I basically started with Freak Show, and I personally liked it. I thought it was a pretty interesting, graphically artistic, and visual. It was exquisite. That's the best word I can pretty much use. It was just a visual lore of amazement, and I personally like that kind of stuff. I love the lore of like circus and mythology and fucking freak shows, and just the idea of like this whole show was like set in like, you know, like early 1900s, like Florida, really intrigued me, especially coming from a Florida guy. So I thought it was pretty, specifically a South Florida guy, I thought it was pretty interesting, and I liked it. The finale was a little lackluster, but overall as a season and as a show, it worked fine. I thought the performances were amazing, and it was pretty cool. So now American Horror Story has come back with a new anthology, timeline, storyline, if you will, with Hotel. Wow, it was pretty freaking crazy. Apparently, Ryan and Brad, the creators of this show, are just they're on a roll. They really are, and I hate to say it because apparently nobody likes the premiere of American Horror Story Hotel. I don't know what it is, but I just don't get it. I just feel so out of place with critics when it comes to the horror genre as of late. For some reason, like Scream Queens, I love. But no one else seems to like it as much as I do. I guess me and Paul are like the only ones who are like raving about the show. And then you have Hotel, and I really liked it. I thought it was dark and gritty and it was wacky, crazy fun. And it feels like the only people who are really having a ball of a time is basically people like me, I guess, and Brad and Ryan Murphy, the fucking creators of the TV show. They're the only ones, and kudos for them. I mean, like, if they're having an amazing time creating these shows and they're having fun all the way to the bank, then good for them, because they really did justice, at least to me, because this entire year was a real like lackluster kind of year for me when it comes to horror TV shows. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the whole MTV Scream thing just completely left such a bad taste in my mouth. But then Scream Queens came around. I'm like, oh shit, that's so fun. It's entertaining. It's cheesy and campy, and stupid at times, but it's fun and it's hilarious. And you have now American Horror Story that just premiered last night. And it's dark, and it's freaking insane, and it's really, really wacky and artistic. And I like that kind of stuff. I like how they just gave us a good blend of horror content that lots of people can really get into. If you want comedy, you go for Scream Queens. If you want straight up horror, you go to American Horror Story Hotel. So that's kind of like the overall gist of what I'm trying to get at, is that I really enjoyed the premiere of both of these shows. Apparently all the hardcore critics are really dog shitting on this, and I can see where they're coming from, but I'm here to subjectively disagree. I really liked the premiere for Hotel. I think it has more of just a more darker, wackier vibe that I kind of like, and it makes it more of a horrific kind of a story. Essentially, the entire story is set around the Hotel Cortez, which is centered in Los Angeles, California. That's run by Lady Gaga's character, and of course, you heard me correctly. Lady Gaga is a character in this freaking show, which is kind of like a double-edged sword, but I'll get into that later. Essentially, she is the owner of this hotel, and she's a blood-sucking fashionist freaking, vampire type chick or something, and the whole season is apparently going to be dedicated to this one detective and his family, and essentially his investigation going through this hotel, trying to figure out who is the killer, because apparently the show is going to be centered around two specific killers, which is the Ten Commandments killer, if I'm remembering correctly, who basically is a serial killer who kills people with biblical, I guess, annotations, and then you have the addiction demon, if I'm also saying that correctly, which is a character that roams around the hotel with a drill bit dildo. Basically, he has a spear of a cock, and he just rapes people until they die or something. So that's pretty much the general. And everybody else is, I guess, maybe they're ghosts. I don't know. Just a whole bunch of real wacky, crazy shit that you would expect from American Horror Story. And that's basically the overall plot of the season. And wow, what a premiere it was. I really didn't know where it was going to go. It kind of feels like, and the series likes to do this a lot, where it feels very old-timey, where it's almost like the show is lost in time. Although it's definitely set in today's era, the hotel has a very lost in time kind of feel, which I really liked and appreciate. For me personally, the performances were definitely on point. I liked a lot of the new characters that we kind of got. I liked the old characters that came back. Unfortunately, Jessica Lange didn't come back. I think that's kind of like the big downfall when it comes to this new season, is that Jessica Lange didn't come back for this season for American Horror Story. I think it's kind of a depressing notion because, regardless of how you personally or critically review American Horror Story, it's her show. It's basically her show. I mean, like, it was inevitable that she would, I guess, leave at a certain point, but it just feels like, why leave something that you are pretty much show running? Like, she is essentially the heart and soul of American Horror Story. She's a destroyer when it comes to that show. So I don't know. I just felt it was kind of weird how she just decided to not be a part of this season. And I guess we have to deal with the fact that we have a newcomer on the show, which is, of course, Lady Gaga. Now, that's the big controversial topic when it comes to reviewing this season, which is, yeah, Lady Gaga is a big part of this show. She's the owner of the hotel. She's the main focus point, I guess, besides the detective and the new owner, or what have you. So that's pretty much it, but I don't know. I'm very mixed with the Lady Gaga thing. I'm not personally, and this is my opinion, that I'm pretty sure a lot of people may or may not agree with, but I'm not a big Lady Gaga fan as it stands. And I don't really see her as an actress. I know she's kind of popped up in a few things here and there, like in the last couple years or so, and that's cool and all, and that's fun. But I don't really see her as an actress. I just see her as who she is, which is her persona, that wackadoo. She's a wackadoo. No offense. I say that respectfully, of course. She's a wackadoo. And the decision to make her like the focal point of this series, I felt was kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's understandable. I mean, now that Jessica Lange is gone, you need someone who's just going to explode with just straight up presence and persona, which is what Lady Gaga has. She has presence and she has a persona that no one can really top. I guess that's the only real reason they can justify her being there, because when I first saw the premiere, or at least not even the premiere, but just the promos, I just felt it was very odd that they used her as the focal point. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, it's American Horror Story Hotel, but it's also subtitled. It's like American Horror Story Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, she's, the focal point. And I feel like it's just a double-edged sword because, yeah, she's Lady Gaga, but she's not really doing anything for the show or the story. She's just there to be a wackadoo. And be sexy, I guess. Sexy wackadoo. That's kind of her purpose, to be on the show. But I feel like if she's going to be a part of this universe, the American Horror Story universe, she needs to go there. She needs to fucking get crazy. She needs to get down and dirty and crazy. And she kind of gets there. But I feel like the only reason she's gotten so far with the show as of now, and I've only seen the first episode, I can't justify the entire season, but what I've seen so far is that it's just her persona and her hype and her overall presence, which is what gives her the light of day on this show. I feel like if she wasn't Lady Gaga, she would just be like, who gives a living shit about her being on this show? But because she's Lady Gaga, a lot of people give a shit, a lot of people are giving her time of day, a lot of people are shitting on her at the same time, so I understand it, but it's just a double-edged sword that I wish they didn't go with. I feel like if they couldn't have Jessica Lange, just get another, high-profile actress, and then just, instead of going for, the Lady Gagas of the world or something. But as her performance stands alone, I think she did a pretty good job, actually. I mean, like, a lot of people are shitting on her, and a lot of people are kind of, like, just bashing her at the moment, but as it stands, she's not the worst part of this freaking show, and she's definitely not the worst part of the freaking premiere. If there's anything that's worse than her, I would say it's probably, like, the plot and the non-linear storyline, I guess. That's pretty much it, because it kind of goes in so many different places, and because it's an ensemble kind of a cast, you have Kathy Bates and Wes Bentley, and, you have Matt Bomer and fucking Sarah Paulson and Evan Quicksilver came back. There's a lot of fucking people, so there's a lot of people who have their own specific arcs and stuff. But I think she did pretty decent. I think it was pretty good, and everything else is kind of just, it's catching up. It's trying to just be its own thing. That's the problem you have when you're dealing with an anthology series, is that everything has to be completely 180 from what you saw prior. So I understand that. But at the end of the day, I still feel it was a solid episode. I have to respectfully disagree with the critics and say that, and publicly say that I loved this premiere. It was dark, it was scary, it was creepy. I mean, that opening when the chicks are like, spoilers, but when the chicks are like cutting through the mattress and that zombie dude just like pops out like crazy and starts screaming, that literally scared the living shit out of me. There was a lot of scary moments. I mean, that was one of them. The rape scene was super fucking creepy. I mean, I didn't see that coming. The freaking, oh god, there's just so many freaking creepy, scary shit in this. And from what I've seen so far, it's also very visually and artistically cool looking. Like, everything, you can tell that, like, if there's one thing Ryan and Brad wanted to do with this season, is to be visually crazy and as dark as possible. Like, fuck the plot. Fuck the stuff. Fuck everybody. Let's just get all crazy and wacky. We got Lady Gaga, bitch. We're gonna do whatever the fuck we want. And that's how it feels. And that's why I like it. That's why I like this show and Scream Queens, because it's a show run by people who just don't give a fuck about what anybody else thinks or says. They're just doing their own thing. And they're not shows to be dissected all the time and just sit. It's not like a Breaking Bad or a Mad Men where you have to sit down and, you have to be involved with everything that goes on. It's a show that you have to sit back, Scream Queens, you sit back, you relax, you laugh your ass off whenever the fuck, Glenn Powell says something, and then with American Horror Story is when you sit down, have some popcorn with your friends or something, and scare the living shit out of yourselves, especially in the Halloween season, and that's what it's all about. The Halloween season is all about being scared. It's not, fuck the plot, fuck it, I'm just saying, it's fun, it's entertaining, and it's very visually well done. So that's all I have to really say. Premiere was strong, in my opinion. Final verdict, 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. American Horror Story Hotel, Episode 1. Let me know your personal thoughts on it. At the end of the day, I loved it, but let me know what you personally think. And of course, that's going to be it for me talking about American Horror Story. I will not be reviewing the entire season. I might review the finale, but overall, this is just the the only one and done kind of episode I'll be reviewing for the show. However, I will be continuing to watch it, and same as I done with Scream Queens. But of course, it's been fun, but it's about that time. Halloween is it's right around the corner almost, and you know what that means. The return of the king. Yes, the rightful king comes back. Ash vs. Evil Dead comes out on Halloween. I will definitely be reviewing that. That's the next horror TV show I will be reviewing, so definitely be in the lookout for that. But of course, check out my prior reviews that I posted today alone, and of course go back and check out my Scream Queens reviews, or my freaking American Horror Story Freak Show reviews. Definitely check out those. But that being said, comment below, let me know what you personally think. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, @Josh12. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and definitely have an amazing fall / Halloween season. And this has been Josh 12.